Hey guys, it's me. It's 2024. Welcome to the new year. New year, but same shit. I got a Peterbilt 389 day cab that's flagging a code for DPF differential pressure, data erratic, intermittent, or incorrect. Looking at the troubleshooting procedures. First, check for fault codes that are related to it. It also has soot level high, or differential pressure high in the least, moderate, and most severe levels. Most severe is active right now, 1922. But gonna troubleshoot 2692, which is your data erratic, intermittent, or incorrect. So no related fault codes to 2692. The next thing it says to do is an air handling performance test. So right now I'm letting the engine get up to operating temperature. I already checked the air filters because that's usually what causes a differential pressure code, is clogged air filters, or your EGR is fucked up, or your VGT isn't actuating like it's supposed to. So I got it warming up right now. Should be done warming up here in the next 10-15 minutes, and we can start this air handling performance test. Usually takes about 20 minutes to complete. I'll bring you all along for the action. Alright, so one of my viewers, told me that I should wear the GoPro on a chest strap, and so y'all can see what I see. So this is Insight. These are my fault codes that I'm worried about. This one here I'm not too worried about at all. Just mainly these four right here. 2692 is a solo code. 1922, 2639, and 1921 are all following codes. So you can see 2639 is least severe, 1921 is moderately severe, 1922 is most severe. So typically I would start with that, but this one here has 6 flags. And looking at the troubleshooting procedures here on QuickServe, with 2692, go to the troubleshooting procedures. First thing you're going to do is make sure that you perform all solutions here. Check for primary fault codes for the DPF sensor, or for the particulate sensor, and for the DPF. None of these codes are in the ECM, and this code is not in the ECM. So we're going to do the air handling performance test. This is where I got to get it up to operating temp. So we'll go back over here to Insight, close out these guys, click show. So steps: start engine, crank engine when prompted during test, allow test to continue running until complete. Test should provide output of either repair decision or abort reason. So test takes around 20 minutes. Checks the turbo actuator span, checks the EGR actuator span, and the intake throttle actuator span. Then you start the engine up and it tests them with the engine running. So right now we're sitting at 150, I believe, about 150 degrees coolant temp. Oh shit. Close the door, maybe y'all can hear a little better. So I do have a traction control light on. Right now it's sitting at 150. We're gonna see if it'll do the test. the test was aborted and cannot continue. The test could not start because a key cycle is required. Key switch off. Takes a minute and a half. I'll bring y'all back. Alright, so I got it going. I just clicked the start button right before I turned the camera on. I don't know if y'all can see these, but these are ranging right now. So you got your intake throttle position, you've got your EGR position, and your turbocharger position. So it's just running them 0 to 100, 0 to 100, 0 to 100. And then it's going to tell me to start the engine. Looks like all of them are spanning. Hopefully. Yep. Please crank the engine. We'll need to run until the test is complete. Test has stopped because engine protection state is active. No, it's not. Test was aborted or could not continue. Oh, this is aggravating. Let it shut down. Well, click start. Try it again. It's got a minute and a half for shutdown. We'll let that go through and then we'll try it again. Fuck. This is aggravating. Laptop's halfway dead. Barely even had it off the charger. And there's nowhere next to me to park to put it on a charger. Shit. That truck is blocking me from pulling this truck out. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Y'all stay tuned. Alright, so it looks like all codes except for 1922 went away. So let's pull up ECM diagnostic tests. Air handling performance test. Click start, see what happens. Checking the spans. Checking the spans. EGR stuck at 100. Why is EGR sticking at 100? Is it just slow to react? What the fuck is really going on here, boys? There, it just dropped off. Alright, test has stopped. Could not start because engine protection state is active. So 1922 is our protection code, I'm guessing. So let's do our regen. Doesn't have the analyzer, but that should deplete this. What the fuck? Alright, what's the conditions for clearing this fucking fault code? So we got X15 114B. conditions for clearing to validate. Road test. Not taking this motherfucker on a road test. See what the ash accumulation is in this beast. That could be why we're getting high differential pressure. This ash load is fucking low. One more thing we can do. Put back on that one. Go to advanced ECM data. We're gonna fool it. We're gonna check this one first. After treatment DPF ash load history. Why can't it load it? Go back to ash load. No, won't fucking load it. Reset the maintenance filter. Key switch off. Click OK. Give it another minute and a half. Y'all come back. Alright, so the purpose of that little test is the after treatment maintenance filter installation is to get 1922 to go inactive, and it brings up 1921 active, which is your moderately severe level. This should let us do the air handling performance test. Now that this code, which is a protection code apparently, because it was a red code, a protection code. So let's see what happens here. Click start. EGR is reading 100%. I wonder if we got an EGR issue. That's not sweeping at all. At first it was. Now it's just staying at 100%. Just dropped off to 0. Staying at 0. It's kind of leading me to believe that we got an issue with our EGR valve. Back in engine protection mode. Now we will put it into a regen and see if we can get 21 to go inactive. Let's look at our soot level. So ash accumulation is now 0.0%, 0.000 pound feet cubic pound feet, whatever the fuck it is. Soot load at 4.21. we're gonna let this thing regen for a little bit. See if we can get 21 to go inactive. Go from there. Y'all stay tuned. Alright, y'all, I was able to get the beast up alongside it enough to where that I can get my laptop back into my truck, get the AC going while this regen is running. So far we've dropped 0.01 ounce, but we're not exactly at the temperature. Right now our DPF outlet temp is only 626 and our inlet is 813, so we got a ways to go. So let's see. Yeah, our NOx sensor outlet, damn, fucking hiccups, has just barely started reading. We're at 537 on the outlet, so we got a ways to go. We'll get this regen finished up, and then we will look at the cause of our fault codes and why it didn't do a regen from the get-go. So y'all stay tuned. Alright guys, here we are with the quick update. Let me find my pointer. So all of our DEF stuff is looking good. We've got a good DOC temp, which is 698. We've got a good DPF intake temp, 960. The outlet pressure looking pretty good at 1.1 inches of water, and inlet pressure or differential pressure is 255, so that's not bad. Right now our soot load is 302. Well, it just dropped to 301. Above normal, least severe, so we should have a new fault code up now, because we had most severe, moderately severe. Now we should have both of those two inactive with just least severe, if it'll load. But while that's loading, put that right there. It's 296, least severe. We're reading good on our inlet NOx. Our outlet NOx is reading good, 55 parts per million. Both readings are stable. We got 1056 on the SCR intake, which traditionally be a little bit high after DEF is being dosed. Usually after DEF is dosed into the SCR, you're going to be 20 to 30 degrees below your outlet DPF temp. This one's staying right with it, which kind of has me a little nervous. Let's see what our fault codes say. Yes, so we have our most severe inactive, our moderately severe inactive, our least severe is currently active, and with the least severe we have no engine lamp on. So most severe is going to have your red lamp, moderately is going to have your amber lamp, and then least severe is not going to have any lamp at all. So once this right here goes to normal, then the least severe code will go inactive. We will be able to clear the codes and do the air handling performance test, but we're going to let this drop down, the soot load drop down quite a bit before we even try to do that. I don't want to start it back up and it slowly build or rapidly build soot in the system. So I'll bring y'all back when I get a little bit more information. So y'all stay tuned. Alright guys, so we're down to 0.76 ounces of soot in the DPF filter. This one just changed to normal, so now I am waiting for this to update and change this from active to inactive. It's updating right now. Let's see what happens. Maybe force an update. Oh, what the fuck? You won't let me. inactive, baby. So yeah, now all 3 of our codes are inactive. I'm gonna go ahead and let it finish this this regen. I mean, we got what, 0.71 ounces left to go, so it ain't gonna be too much longer. Probably another maybe 20-30 minutes. But let this thing finish the regen, and then we will do the air handling tests. And so yeah, once it's done with the regen, we'll do the air handling test. I'm kind of nervous about the EGR sweep, how it goes from 0 to 100 and just stays there until the other ones finish, you know, 3 different sweeps. But we'll see what happens. Now that we have a really low soot level on our air handling, make sure the turbo and everything's actuating the way they're supposed to. And with that air handling test, it's also going to test, you know, your EGR differential pressures, your intake manifold pressure, and your exhaust pressure. So that'll give us a good indication of, you know, if something is messing up somewhere in the air handling system. It'll traditionally tell you. Sometimes it'll come back, you know, everything's okay, and then you come back out 2 weeks later with, you know, fucking EGR differential pressure sensor that's messed up. But it is what it is. So we'll let this finish, and I'll bring y'all back. Guys, I'm gonna update you real quick. We got all codes inactive. We're down to 0.40 ounces, and it's already done its cool down session. So right now we are sitting at that's not moving. Oh, retry. Anyways, it's sitting at low temperatures, so we are going to get back in this truck and do the air handling performance test. So y'all stay tuned. Alright y'all, so I'm connected back to the truck, and I'm going to reset the fault codes. I'll show you how to do that. So whenever you have your fault code screen pulled up, just right click and it'll bring up this little drop down menu. Go to reset all faults and click yes. It's going to tell you to turn the key off for 1.5 minutes. I think it's 1:40, 100 seconds. So I'll bring y'all back when this is done. Alright y'all, we're down to 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Key on. Click OK. And all those codes should be gone once this updates. Done. I hate that fucking pop-up screen. I need to figure out how to turn that shit off. Great. Alright, that shit's gone. Get rid of this one. Get rid of this one. Click on the air handling performance test. Click next. Click start. Checking the span. Checking the span. EGR is actuating again. It's about on target with the turbo actuator, so see what happens. last one, and then it's gonna make me start the unit. Engine started, and as soon as it sees engine position changing, it's a state change, then it will continue the test. There it goes. So right now it's actuating the turbo with it running on low idle. 0 to 100, 0 to 100. You can feel it kind of bogging down the engine. Now it's running the intake air actuator throttle position. So this is probably going to be just measuring the intake manifold pressure, exhaust manifold pressure, ramping up the idle, and slowly changing the turbo actuator position. Looks like in sequence of 5s. So we'll let this finish, and once the test is complete, it'll either tell me abort, stopped, or success. So hopefully it's success, and I don't have to do a bunch of shit. I can get out of here. I gotta go down to Burleson next. We got a car hauler that needs the DPF and DOC reset on the system, so in the ECM. But we'll see what happens here in a minute. Y'all stay tuned. Okay, here we are. This is the results. The test has completed. All tests completed successfully. No further repairs needed. So we're gonna go ahead and back out of here. X out of that. X out of that. Pull up our fault codes. No fault codes detected in the ECM. We're gonna call this baby done and move on to Burleson. So I might be able to record a little bit there. We'll see. Y'all stay tuned. Alright peeps, we're here at the car haulers. That one right there that says 699, that one had a cruise control inoperable. Every time that you would activate the cruise control, it would try to activate the PTO. It turned out to be a parameter setting in Insight. I was able to get the parameter changed over, took it on a road test. Cruise control works just fine. The other one that had the customer replaced the DPF and the DOC on it, which actually they just replaced the DPF. Well, they wanted me to come in and reset the ash accumulation, which is what you would typically do on a Cummins. On a pack car, it's called something different. I forgot what it's called. Reset the filter. So I did that. After you do that, you got to kick it into a regen because it says you got a low soot level for some reason after that. Kicked it into a regen, and she was bellowing white smoke. One of the issues that I found was whenever the customer had done the DPF filter, they also did a PM on the unit. One thing that I did find after the PM was the suction filter, the frame mounted fuel filter, was actually bubbling quite a bit. So I told them to get that filter bowl replaced, and then I can troubleshoot the diesel doser, the 7th injector. It's what injects diesel into the exhaust stream, causing a heat reaction to heat up the exhaust. So we'll see what happens tomorrow if the customer replaces it. I'm probably going to go ahead and order a diesel 7th injector, a diesel doser. I think that would be the best thing to do instead of pussyfooting around and test it out. I know it's gonna fucking fail. It was dumping raw fuel into the exhaust. So that's it for today. I started at 4 this morning. It is now 5:30. Not too bad. So y'all have a great day. If I don't upload another video tomorrow, y'all have a great weekend. Hasta luego.